on continue à commenter ce sommet et je suis avec un Américain, Samuel Trapp. Thank you for joining us on our media. Alors, Samuel Trapp, on va parler en anglais. Il a lui-même un média qui s'appelle Dame Radio, dameradio.com. On mettra le lien en dessous de la vidéo, vous pourrez vous connecter. Et c'est très intéressant parce qu'il y a très peu d'occidentaux. Et donc c'est intéressant d'avoir son avis. So I just said to our audience that there is very few Western people.
Yes.
And we are a little bit like animals.
Yes.
And all the others are, there are some French and there is an American.
And there's an American.
So you're an American from Florida,
Yes.
Missouri.
I live in Florida. I have a radio program in Missouri. And you may have said this, I don't understand French, but you may have said that I have a Russian-speaking YouTube channel at Samuel Trapp.
And also, it's interesting, you've been in the American Army.
Yes, I served in the American Army as a diplomatic interpreter.
Yeah.
And arms control.
Arms control is very interesting.
Arms control, very important during the INF Treaty and the Nuclear Threshold Test Ban Treaty. We did underground nuclear testing verification, and then we get rid of all SS-20s in Europe and Pershing 2s in America back in the 80s and 90s when we were working together with the Soviet Union and then Russia to demilitarize the world.
Yeah.
Seems like that didn't work.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked, but temporarily.
And now it's over. So INF, it's Trump.
Intermediate range nuclear forces.
Yeah. But it's Donald Trump who left INF.
I believe it was kind of a mutual departure, from what I remember. They quit paying attention to the parameters of it and just didn't renew it.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunate.
Unfortunately, because, I don't think we need more nuclear weapons. We have enough, I think, all of us.
We've lost great opportunities to keep the world a safer place. And instead, I think we're doing the opposite.
Exactly.
So.
And also you're a lawyer, but this is not...
I do not practice law anymore.
But anyway,
I
we
was
consider that in the United States people are or a lawyer or shrink, so it's a...
Well, and people can believe as they like. I am, I don't want to say I'm anti-government, but I question things.
Yeah.
Probably too much to just believe, you know, that everything will be okay. So I had to come to the BRICS conference and see it personally.
So that's why you're here. We want to have your impressions.
Correct.
What do you think of this BRICS summit? Is it bullshit, as some media are saying in the West, or it is serious? Do you think that something is happening? How do you see that?
I think this is one of the most serious meetings on a global scale in 100 years. I believe that financially, after World War II, during the Bretton Woods Conference and everything that created the UN and created the SWIFT banking and created all of those frameworks, I believe that BRICS is not trying to be exclusive or be against all of those, but trying to create an alternative to what has become a very lopsided system. Now that's me analytically thinking. Obviously, that isn't what our government believes in America. They choose to ignore it. I'll continue if you like.
Sure.
Lloyd Austin did a interview yesterday.
Ministry of Defense.
Minister of Defense. Well, he's the top dog military. And also, Anthony Blinken, did a report in a journal in October, and I read it, and not a word from either one of them about BRICS and about this summit. If you ignore it, it doesn't exist. That's how it works in America. You just ignore it, and people don't worry about it. Well, that's, I've had some negativity thrown my way for wanting
Where
to.
the fuck is Kazan?
Yeah. Why are you going to Kazan? What do you want to do with that? You know, you're a Putin lover. You know, all these kind of things.
Oh, you too. You're a Putin lover.
I'm a Putin apologist or a tool of Putin or whatever. All ridiculous. I'm a person who wants to think and see things objectively. And just because you ignore it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And that is unfortunate because Americans, well, everybody in the West really needs to know that people are serious about this. And this one in particular has been extremely important from varying levels. You heard the Iranian leader say yesterday that he was pretty anti-American, you know, in his approach and blamed a lot of things on America. It's hard not to, you know, but I can't say that I completely...
From their point of view.
From their point of view. And we demonize anyone in America. It seems like our government demonizes anyone who doesn't toe the line. But the rules don't apply to everyone.
It's often done in the Western countries. It's a little bit the same.
It's done everywhere, but seems like we're the experts at it. Yeah. We're the best. we make one rule for the rest of the world, but that rule doesn't apply to us. You know, we don't have to worry about that. That's just a rule.
It's a rules-based international order, but that doesn't apply.
The international order, well, we create that, not the rest of them, so it just doesn't apply. And a lot of Americans feel that way, so I'm not alone.
Okay.
You know, but it's just nobody has the opportunity to say anything because who the heck's going to listen to you? You know, it's so I came here. I've talked to so many people like you from other countries. You're like country number.
So many countries. It's crazy.
So many countries, and I've spoken to so many people. I was very interested in India.
Many Putin lovers all around the world.
They have everybody's
strong. Huh?
Everybody's a Putin lover. It's crazy, and but the world is changing. Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to.
It's better to witness,
know about
to understand what's going on,
witness
even if you don't like it.
Even if you don't like it.
Especially if you don't like it.
Especially if you don't like it. Well, diplomacy in America is dead.
No, it's in France. It's dead. It's shrinking. Our president killed. He killed for the first time in history the diplomatic corps. It doesn't exist anymore as a core. We had the second after the American in 2017 when he started to being president. It's insane. But okay, we're not speaking of France.
But it's the same thing though. Since Joe Biden took office, how many conversations has he or his administration attempted to have to resolve this conflict? One attempt. A couple of weeks ago at the UN conference, they tried to get Sergei Lavrov to say something, and he said, that time's over, basically. And that is extremely unfortunate.
But there is rumor that chief of CIA and chief of FSB are talking.
If they're doing it on secret levels that nobody gets to know about.
I hope they're doing that.
I hope they're doing it, because it's really sad to believe that diplomacy is dead and we're killing. We collectively are killing all of these people without hope.
Yeah.
There really isn't any hope of Ukraine winning this war. It's just...
In 2018, I was here in Russia, in Moscow. I met Mr. Grushko, which is one of the second men after Lavrov.
Yes.
And he told us that one of the big problems is that if you compare to the time of the Soviet Union and the Brezhnev time, we were really enemies. Now there is 10 times less way of communicate
than there was
before.
Then. Yes.
And now we have all these phones, and it's easy. You can dial Putin if you want. It's very fast. It's Jeffrey Sachs always saying, "I have his number. Guys, I give it to you.
Yeah.
Call him."
Talk to each other. But if you don't talk to each other,
before you had generals who were speaking to a counterpart general, diplomats on many levels, and of course the state. And
that was my job, in fact.
Yeah.
I interpreted for those type of meetings at some of the highest levels. You know, on the INF treaty was very high level. Yeah. And we had generals, colonels, and Soviet, Russian, and we would translate between them.
And that's dead, huh?
And that's, well...
No, completely no, but weak.
extremely weak. If it exists, you don't hear anything about it. And everybody's backing off. There's even talk of nuclear testing beginning again. I was on the ground for the last underground nuclear test in America. I was there. And that nuclear test was the last because it was the smart thing to do. People are talking about reviving underground nuclear testing. They're talking about it even now. And I think it's a shame. We're making the world more dangerous, not less.
For everybody.
For everybody.
We have yesterday we had here a guy who is coming from South America, who is very, very positive. Well, he was very for the BRICS. He also
I think I
speaks
talked to
for
him.
Cuba, but he was kind of critic here and a bit disappointed with the final declaration that you maybe read.
I read.
Because he said, well, SWIFT is still there, we're not quitting SWIFT, we're not quitting IMF, we would like to have an African country, sub-Saharan, to join the board of
The main
IMF.
BRIC,
It's very like often in these summits, it's
Yes.
like, why guys, you have organized all of this and
And then what? And then you're going to give it up? Well, you could look at this as a way, this entire huge outlay of money. You got to admit they've treated us pretty well here. Yes, yes. This is very, very nice, and they've put on. Vladimir Putin has directed this year a great program, meetings all year long on various topics, culminating with this summit at the end. The BRICS pay that they discussed, but very little detail on that so far. An international payment structure, which they're working on, and they have subgroups. The resolution of the problems between the border dispute between India and China, that's a big deal. And working together in spite of these issues. But India, I believe, is one of the key drivers of this process because they've been saying for years at the UN level, we're the biggest country, population-wise, in the world. And we have very little voice in the UN. And somebody can veto us.
maybe Gutierrez is here for that, huh?
Well, it's possible that but something,
Because,
if they change the UN structure,
Yeah,
but massive reform has to happen there, or people are going to seek alternatives. And it looks like people are seeking alternatives. How many in this summit? 38 countries, I believe they
it's
said.
crazy, yeah.
Tons of countries and many applicants.
But, you're very right, because the Security Council, the 5 permanent members,
Group of 7,
I mean,
group of 20.
people, they will not continue if there is no India, as you said.
That's right.
One big African country and Brazil, because they're saying, come on, guys. I mean,
Well, and this
if you look
veto
at
power,
England and France, they're far more
Yeah.
weaker than India.
Well,
It's
agreed.
Not,
And-
I understand that people that are 1.5 billion almost consider, hey, you dude of 70 million.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's right.
You're not even in the 10th
and they have to
economy.
beg. They have to beg for attention on the world stage, and it just seems. So that goes straight back to the point of, it's coming. A change is coming, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, that doesn't mean you can just ignore it and it will go away. You know, powers come and powers go. And how many years ago was France in charge of the world, basically? Navy,
England,
everything.
then.
England.
There was a
Go
thing
back to
called
Egypt.
Roman Empire.
Roman Empire, just keep going. And so you can talk about, I'm not saying I want America gone. America's not
I mean,
gone.
they will not
There's
gone. It's a
nothing like
huge
that.
power,
The
so-
dollar is not gone. But people want different structures.
More sovereignty.
More ability to think for themselves. They don't want to have democracy dictated to them, or the type that you must
Especially
have.
if it comes with bombs.
Especially if it comes from a country where people question I question our democracy. I'm allowed to. I'm an American. I don't always feel that it is exactly democratic.
Okay, Samuel, thank you very much. We will
I
switch.
appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate very much our talk. Maybe we could talk longer. So
Oh, definitely. Anytime
I
you
have
like.
your contact. We'll
Yes.
invite you on a. Of course,
I
we
do-
won't be at the
I
same
do-
place, but we do the visual
Yes,
thing.
I do video things
with,
and joint,
modern world.
joint
so-
things. We can do something, and
That'll
I'd
be
love
fun.
it, and I'd appreciate it.
Great.
And you'll send me a link.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Et donc voilà, on était avec un Américain, c'est très intéressant. En plus, vous l'avez compris, pour ceux qui comprennent l'anglais, ou si les sous-titres marchent bien, je crois que ça marche très bien.